Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Virgo July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is, well, as far as July goes, the Sun will be in Cancer from the 1st until the 23rd. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. There could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on goals, aspirations, future, friends, acquaintances, stepchildren, if applicable, social media, social networking, and even money that is obtained from one's own business. Now, given this is Cancerian energy, this could be done with a lot of care, devotion, diligence, dedication, a lot of nurturing energy, especially perhaps matters with friends, acquaintances, and stepchildren if applicable. This could be done with a lot of emotional energy and sensitivity as well, and also very nurturing energy. And again, a lot of that tenacious Cancerian energy, and especially perhaps with matters maybe with money obtained from one's own business as well, and in obtaining goals and aspirations. Now, in some cases, this could put a focus or shine the light, so to speak, on a rather temperamental or moody stepchild or friend or an acquaintance, or maybe someone prominent in a group, club, or organization. It could be a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Cancerian traits. Next thing up. As far as July goes, the Sun will be in Leo from the 23rd until the 31st, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. There could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on one's limitations, restrictions, those less fortunate than oneself, such as the impoverished, the homeless, the oppressed, or the hungry. At this time, hidden adversaries, mental illness in some isolated cases, self-undoing, secret sorrows, some cases hospitalization, an aunt and uncle even, and solitude and seclusion. Now, given that this is Leo energy, a lot of this may be done with a lot of pride and dignity, a lot of courage and fortitude, and also to a lot of self-assuredness and confidence, but yet extravagance in some cases as well. It could be extravagance on things related to private matters or helping those less fortunate than yourself, but also a lot of generous energy and a lot of extroverted energy actually in private. It's a little bit of a paradoxical influence because you got solitude and seclusion blending in with this Leo extroverted energy, but it could be shining really strong in behind the scenes activities. This could also, in some cases, shine the light, so to speak, on a Leo hidden adversary. It could be a Leo Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Leo characteristics. Some cases, it could be about a limitation with an eye, and it could be the Sun rules either the left or right eye, depending on gender. It could be something that where maybe it's on the, given that this is Leo energy, it could be something that could be on a large scale, or something that could be very extravagant in terms of maybe how much it could be. So as far as dealing with this, and also too, in some cases it could shine a light on some kind of mental illness, but this could be very isolated, and you'd have to have certain things, I would believe, in the natal chart that might reaffirm this, or something in a progressed chart. It could be something on like delusions of grandeur, grandiose delusions, something that could be Leo related. So anyway, next thing up, there will be a new moon solar eclipse in Cancer on July 2nd, so the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted now at this time. Now, in some cases, when you're talking about new moon solar eclipses in astrology, this could be in some cases about a departure of a dominant male person in your life. And now this could be the departure of a dominant male Cancerian person. It could be a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Cancerian characteristics. Now, it could also be, in some cases, maybe the beginning of a connection with a Cancerian friend or an acquaintance, and it could be something that could be very life-altering, considering this is the solar eclipse, and also too. This could be the beginning of maybe nurturing perhaps your friendships at this time, or maybe where you're actually giving more care to one of them. And this could be something that could go on for a very sustained period. Again, this is the new moon solar eclipse energy. It could be the beginning of a Cancerian goal or aspiration at this time. It could be very life altering. It could be a monumental change. It could be something that really at some point reaps a lot of rewards for you, and something that you do for a very sustained period. It could be doing something Cancerian related, such as something with laundry or home caregiving, or maybe something with history, such as being aspiring to be a historian, something with home remodeling, renovation, real estate, anything that could be Cancerian related. And also too, this could be about maybe starting a family, could actually be the goal or aspiration at this time. And of course, something like that could be very monumental and life altering. Could also be about a time where you begin to really care about your future and tenaciously maybe making money from your own business, and tenaciously perhaps pursuing the future at this time. So anyway, and it could also be a time, if you have a stepchild, it could be the time where you might begin to show that unequivocal love for that person as if it were your own son or daughter at this time. So anyway, the next thing up, there will be a full moon solar eclipse in Capricorn on July 16th. So the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now at this time, this could, in some cases, given this is a lunar eclipse, this could be something that could be rather life-altering, something that has a lot of significance, and could be something that's very sustained. Now in some cases, this could be about the departure of a prominent Capricorn female in your life. It could be somebody that maybe was a lover, or maybe somebody that was prominent in your fun, your amusement, your enjoyment. Could also be a time too where in some cases, this could be about the completion or culmination of some kind of consistent gambling situation, or maybe a business investment. And also, too, this could be about perhaps the self-revelation at this time, that perhaps the limitation or an inhibiting love life and enjoyment might have to do, what it is it's a revelation that might be connected with you, and you understand whatever it is, you understand and maybe become very cognizant of why that limitation is, such as maybe something that was self-inhibiting or self-sabotage, or maybe being just overly pessimistic or negative attitude, for example. It could be just being cognizant of being overly pessimistic, cynical, overly prudent, or negative, and that might have caused some limitation with personal popularity. And it's something, again, that could be very life-altering, considering you're talking about the full moon lunar eclipse in Capricorn. Now, also, too, it could be a time where one strongly becomes very tired, full, or exasperated at maybe somebody that might be a child or a lover that might be overly callous, cold, or undemonstrative. It could be the end of a business connection that maybe, or a business that was associated with sports or entertainment at this time, something you might have had for a very protracted period. Anyway, next thing up. Well, Mercury will be in Leo as far as July goes, from the 1st until the 19th. So the second house is what will be, the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, this could be about thinking overconfidently, might be oneself undoing. It could be a time, or maybe even leads to secret sorrows. You could find yourself boasting and bragging, perhaps about maybe doing things for those less fortunate than yourself. It could also be about dominating conversations with people in your private life, with an aunt or an uncle, and also perhaps a lot of creative writing in solitude and seclusion. You might find yourself less loquacious and talkative at this time, but find yourself dominating conversations in private, and maybe even dealing with know-it-all neighbors that think that they know what you have to do to get out of a limiting situation, or they might be commenting on maybe something maybe in your private life that they really don't have any right maybe to be commenting on. It could also be about boasting and bragging about weeding out hidden adversaries, and even Leo siblings, because Mercury could be connected with siblings. They could be Leo sun, moon, or ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Leo characteristics, might be driving you figuratively crazy at this time. Hold on a moment, people. Next thing up, Mercury will be in Cancer as far as July goes, from the 19th until the 31st. It will be retrograde, and the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, you might find yourself doing some reminiscing with friends and acquaintances. You might be talking about past hurts with them as well. Again, Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Cancerian traits that might figure in prominently with your goals, your aspirations, your groups, social networking at this time. It could also be about nurturing and sympathetic neighbors, because Mercury could be connected with neighbors and people that might want to be very helpful in helping you toward your future, toward your goals, your aspirations, toward group involvement, matters with social media, social networking, and could also be about much contemplation about your future at this time, and maybe being a little bit more sensitive to criticism and ridicule from friends, from acquaintances at this time, and also about having conversations with family regarding your future at this time as well. Well, anyway, next thing up is Venus will be in Gemini as far as July goes, from the 1st until the 3rd. So the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, you might find yourself enjoying manifold business career ventures. You might value loquaciousness at this time, in terms with people prominent in your career, the dominant parent, and also valuing variety, versatility, dexterity, even in quick thinking in career-related matters at this time, and also finding ways maybe to gain greater success and attain greater stature in life as well, or notoriety and recognition. It could be doing something where you might be making money doing something Gemini related for your career at this time, such as data or satellite communications, writing, journalism, doing something that strongly requires use of the hands, such as dexterity, such as something with auto or refrigeration mechanics. But be careful too that the love or enjoyment of gossip could impact one's reputation and public image at this time. So, and also if you're unattached at this time, Virgo, you might connect with a Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person. It could be someone that embodies Gemini traits, and it could be somebody that might play a strong role in your career, your social status, your stature in life, and maybe even your public image and reputation, such as a promoter. Last but not least, Venus will be in Cancer as far as July goes, from the 3rd until July 3rd until the 18th. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, this could be about Cancerian friends and acquaintances that might at this time, where maybe it's that strong love of Cancerian friends and acquaintances, and also perhaps it could be hoarding money for the future in some isolated cases. Now, could also be if you're unattached at this time, Virgo, you might connect with a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Cancerian characteristics that might figure more prominently in your social networking, your goals, your aspirations, attaining your future, and also it could be about the unequivocal love for a friend, for a stepchild also, if applicable, and also perhaps valuing sympathy, empathy, devotion, dedication, indulgence, and sensitivity at this time. 2 matters with friends, with groups, with clubs, with organizations, and also maybe even humanitarian endeavors at this time. You might find yourself enjoying yourself doing Cancerian things with friends and acquaintances at this time as well, such as even laundry or cooking or cleaning, or doing just things that are very introverted, that are very homey, maybe doing things that are nostalgic, that have to do with history, or some kind of home remodeling or renovation, anything that you might find could be collecting things, getting in touch with things of the past. Anyway, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Virgo July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. Stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my Virgo July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. 2 things I want to get through on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.